What's going on, everybody? This is NWild19, or newly known as Just Wild, as I have become part of TeamJustus Judges Division, and I gotta say, I couldn't be any happier to be part of such a great group of people. Now, before I get into these camp strike tactics, because we all know it can be a little bit difficult on this map with all these campers, I do kind of want to state that I am mostly on the PlayStation side of things. You know, I really haven't committed to a next-gen console yet, but I do hop over to the Xbox 360 from time to time. I really do need to dust off the old Xbox controller so I can play with everybody, because I know there's a lot more of you guys on that side of things than there are the PlayStation. So in the meantime, if you guys want to add me, feel free. It's NWild19 for right now. I'm probably going to end up changing the Xbox One over to Just Wild, because I do want to represent for TeamJustus as well. Now, I am a well-rounded player. You know, I pretty much play everything from, you know, free-for-all, infected, hunted, over to the hardcore game mode. So pretty well-rounded in that aspect, but that's enough of that. Let's talk of what you guys want to hear about, you know, the chem strike tactics, how I went about this on this map, because, you know, as I said before, it can be a little bit difficult with all these guys trying to camp, you know, up in the windows, up high with the thermals, the snipers, and the marksman rifles. Now, as you can see here, I am playing hardcore over core, so there's a couple different tactics that you might want to do differently, or that you might want to take away from this. Although I do run at it with the same mentality I would as core domination, and that's why you see me running support. You know, I've got these satcoms out there, not to see the other team, because most of them are running off the grid, but just to see where my teammates are at. That way I know where these guys will be spawning. You know, I know where my teammates are going. You know, are they rushing into the spawn? Do I need to back up a little bit? Do I need to hit that left side? That's pretty much what that satcom is for. Not for the enemies, but so I can actually see the layout of the map. You know, I know where my teammates are at, and that'll give you a huge advantage. And I think that's what people don't really understand about the satcom, is that it's not really for spawning enemies. You know, I use it for the map layouts. You know, when can I hit this corner? You know, when can I cut off an enemy if they're not running silencer? Now, this is pretty much for hardcore, since core has a constant UAV, and I'm pretty sure that most of you guys know this already, but I figured I would go ahead and mention it anyway, just because you know, some of you might not look at it the same way I do, or, you know, just my thought process behind the SATCOM and why I run such low support score streaks. And then I have the ammo crate, so I don't have to use scavenger. And then I have vest, ballistic vest. Man, these help me out so much in this game mode. You know, it lets me run around like I would in core. It'll take those couple extra bullets, you know, if they're not running armor piercing, that is, and it really saves your life. It really does. You know, I was on a 24 gun streak in this game, and some guy comes up right behind me. I don't know why he didn't knife me, but he tries to shoot me in the back of the dome, and I was able to turn on him, get my 25 gun streak, get my chem strike, all because of these ballistic vests. And I'll tell you what, they're such a lifesaver. Not only do they help yourself out, but they help your team out, and it's definitely beneficial, especially if you run into a really competitive team that are, you know, out there trying to cap that B flag, that are actually giving you kind of a hard time. Now, this is all mostly for hardcore, so if you guys ever do find yourself playing hardcore, give this setup a try and see if it doesn't help you out. I know it definitely has helped me out. Now, as we all know, the first couple minutes of Dom can be the most crucial, you know, to figure out how the other team plays. Are they going to slow play it? Are they going to set up in their spawn, just get kills? You know, are they going to try to even cap the B flag, or if they're just going to even sit on it? So there's definitely a lot of different ways that a game of domination can play out. And that's why I like to run straight for the enemy spawn in hardcore, that is, so I can catch them off guard. You know, I can catch them before they like to set up, you know, especially on this map alone. There's so many different ways that they can sit up high and just kind of pick people off. And if you can do that, if you can discombobulate them, disorient them, it'll definitely help your team out, not only just to keep B flag, but for them to set up, you know, for them to keep control of the map. Like, look at this right there. Whew, thank goodness for ballistic vest. But that's probably the best way I can think of, especially if you're running not in a full party in hardcore dom. You know, I think I was running with one other person, and that's the best way to get map control, I think, is to just kind of disorient them in their own spawn. You know, have them a hard time capping B flag, and then if you can only have maybe 1 or 2 people in their spawn trapping them, you should be good to go. You should be able to cap A, as long as they don't go for the trip cap. I've seen it mess up so many games where someone decides to go in and trip cap the flags, and all of a sudden the enemy is spawning everywhere. You know, people are dying off their streaks. You know, people that were on B flag have the enemy spawning right behind them, and it messes up so many games, because where you just had everyone controlled in their spawn, they now are all over the place, and then you end up getting trip capped, and you're wondering, how did this happen? You know, we just had them pushed into their corner, and you have to re-herd them back into their spawn. You know, you have like a group of sheep or cattle, you have to push them back into their little area and control them there and keep them there, because that pretty much is what the whole game is all about, is, you know, spawn trapping and map control. So this was supposed to be my intro video for TeamJustus, you know, on their channel, but I feel like it's kind of turned into a little bit of a tips and trick video, which is pretty much what I do. So if you guys want to see more, you know, go ahead and check out my channel. It's nwild19, or, you know, hopefully there'll be a link down below, and you guys can check me out, you know, tell me what you guys think. But, you know, I don't know, for some reason this is just what it ended up being, you know, just kind of an inside look. If you guys have not tried hardcore domination, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. This is where I've been getting most of my chem strikes, to be in fact. You know, it used to be just blitz or core dom, but this is the way to go. You know, if you guys are good on reflexes, you're good at anticipating where the enemy's going to be at, I definitely recommend you give hardcore dom a try. Now, it can be a little off-putting because I think what turns people off of hardcore is just some of the games where you find people camping, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, some people do that, some people don't, you know, but at the end of the day, it's just a video game, so you can't really be too mad at it. People are going to play, they want to play. So just kind of push through it. You know, there'll be those games where you just absolutely dominate people, and those are the ones that make you want to play another game. Those are the ones that make you keep wanting to play hardcore dom. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button. You know, 35 gun streak for the chem strike with a rude awakening, 2.9 seconds until launch, and it gets cut out. No host migration or anything. It's just one of your parties has lost connection to the host. What is that? Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget to hit that like, favorite, subscribe button. And this is nwild19. Just Wild, signing out.